cool, awesome, good, great, grand Screenagers. Welcome to Saw After Dark, a new series that we're starting here at the Wasteland. We're building out this YouTube page. We got a lot of stuff. We're throwing a lot of content out. We got another series coming at you. In this series, Wasteland After Dark, we're going to be gathering groups of Saw contributors to talk about various different topics, including what we're going to be talking about today. We kind of don't know where it is exactly that this is going to be going, but we're diving in. We're jumping in. We're recording this on a Friday evening. We've all got drinks in hand. Things might get a little kooky. We're excited to see where it goes. But yeah, we've got a great crew here. We got Val, Brian, and Ramona. Val, I'm going to kick it over to you because I feel like you're going to lead us into what we're actually going to be talking about.
Sure. Like Raf and I are sort of kind of heading this thing up. It was Raf's idea. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit more fun, drinks in hand, maybe a little PG-13 rating. But we're going to talk about, as contributors, kind of our process for writing reviews, what we think about, and we're just going to have fun and vibe, have a good conversation about it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Val, I do. PG-13 is okay, but I do have a no nudity clause on the show. So.
Shit.
Well, I suppose we'll have to acquiesce to that.
I might show bare chest. Is that allowed on YouTube? Can I do that?
I think it is.
Why?
I will.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. It feels weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Random YouTube thing, y'all. I'm getting us way off track already, but I feel like that's sort of the vibe of this thing. Have you noticed the little videos, like the shorts, the YouTube shorts?
Mm-hmm.
Raf, I don't know if you select the screenshot or if YouTube selects it. I'm guessing that YouTube selects it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it always picks, because you've got the captions, it always picks the word that's going to get the most clicks. And so it's really funny for me to like scroll through and see what YouTube thinks is going to get the most clicks.
Huh.
Could you
Some
give
of them are really
examples
funny.
of what you see?
Have to look.
I'm trying to remember. There was one that was really good.
There was one with
And
our
that got
buddy
me thinking
Steven.
and scrolling
We were talking about Rope. We were talking about like the homoerotic undertones in that movie, and I guess one of us said gay at some point to describe the characters or what might be happening with the characters and their relationship to each other. So yeah, the image that YouTube chose was either Steven or I just saying the word gay. Like, that's going to get people to click on it, right? Like, what are these two dudes talking about? I want to see.
That's going to be the screenshot for this episode.
Yep. It's just going to be Raf saying gay. There
gay.
it is.
There's one on here of Raf and Ramona that's it's comma yeah. And then there's another one that's so yeah. Mm-hmm.
That must have been me.
Excellent.
It's really good.
Peak content.
Oh, there's one that says argument. It's like Raf and Ramona are arguing over something.
I was gonna say, I don't think we argued over anything.
That's no.
Okay. We discussed this off recording, but what are y'all drinking?
Oh yeah. I can start. I'm sort of boring, but I'm drinking a sour from Bearded Iris, which before recording, we were talking about Nashville. This is a Nashville brewery that I like, and it's called a Flamingo Road. I've never had it before, but it is very good.
Cool.
I've got a Cayman Jack strawberry margarita, which is probably why I'm already like getting the alcohol sweats.
That's real. Yeah, I've got a Negroni that I made with chai-infused Tanqueray, and it is quite good.
So fancy.
That is super fancy. I have an unnamed Japanese whiskey. Neat, which...
It's unnamed.
Well, it is named. I just don't remember the name. Not because I've had too much, because I didn't read the label before pouring it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So.
You can tell
I
us
feel
next
like
time.
it's probably Nika. That's the other famous one.
I think it's a slightly longer name. It's a green label. It's a taller bottle. It's good though.
And
It's
I have
smooth.
no
We were talking
idea.
before about how you guys don't drink whiskey neat. Everyone likes it
Yeah.
on the rocks. And this is smooth enough that I don't need any water thrown into it or don't need it on the rocks.
Hmm.
Maybe that says something about me. And maybe I like whiskey too much.
No, I mean, like, Japanese whiskey is super smooth. I will say that. Like, when I was in Japan, I drank like nothing but highballs the entire time I was there.
Good
And like
Lord.
no sugar, nothing added, just a little bit of whiskey and seltzer. And that was just like the perfect drink. It was great.
Did you ever drink mega highballs?
What's a mega? No. What is that?
It's just a larger size.
Oh.
it's mega.
Well, yeah, I guess not. I got the regular size, but maybe next time.
That's fun.
All right. So, do we want to just kind of like jump in, maybe start with one person and kind of move along? Like, who wants to go first and describe their creative process?
Ooh. I'll go. Mine's very easy. So, essentially, when I want to write a review for a movie, I used to do it almost immediately after I watched it. And it was all like that initial reaction, just brain vomit all over the page. Didn't really have much of a format for it. I'm just not somebody who really goes into like the depth of like a professional critic would, diving a little deep into the movie, touching on all the bases of the technicalities, all that stuff. I just go on pure emotion of how I felt about the movie, what I enjoyed about it, and then if there were any flaws, what I didn't enjoy about it, and then ultimately at the end, how I felt, as a whole. And then I just started, the longer I was writing reviews, the more I started to become a little bit more critical, I guess, of what I was watching. And it certainly helps, writing for Screenage Wasteland, reading your guys' reviews. Obviously, I think the more you read, the better writer you become.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a reader since I was like 12, like loved to read novels since I was like 10, 11, 12, whatever, so that's always been a thing. I've always loved to write. And I started taking a little bit more time in between the end of a movie to when I actually started putting my thoughts down on paper or typing it, however you want to do it. Just because I have found that my initial like or dislike of a movie tends to kind of dull a little bit as I start to think about it more and it starts to settle in. For example, I saw Scream 7 Friday night. And I wrote the review for that. I didn't write the review for that. I didn't start it until Tuesday. And some of that was, being busy, but it was also I left it thinking that was really, really good. I enjoyed that movie a lot. But then the longer I sat on it, I was like, okay, well, I enjoyed it, but there are some problems. And it kind of went from a certain star rating in my head kind of down a little bit. So I've started trying to take more of my time in between writing and when I've seen the movie. And I do start to bullet point now, though. As I think about things, I put it in my notes in my phone. Like, okay, this is a thought I had about this person. This is a thought I had about that. And then I try to I start with it, put it down on paper, bullet point it, and then I just go from there and write whatever my brain decides to write. And then sometimes it's really long, especially if I dislike a movie. Man, that thing's going to be packed. That thing is going to be a too long, didn't read at the end saying, don't watch this movie. If I like a movie, it's a little bit shorter. It's just kind of like, this is really great, and this is why I liked it, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah, but I kind of like that about your
Yeah.
reviews, Ramona, because like it almost feels like one of my friends is telling me about this movie they saw and what they liked about it. And I think that's such a good vibe to just like read and kind of get a sense of the movie and be like, oh, that sounds like something I want to watch.
Yeah. And that's the vibe I like to go for is it's less formal less of a formal review in my eyes and more of a just like you said, hey, this is what movie I saw. This is what I thought about it. You know, this is what I liked about it and didn't. And that's basically it. I don't like to pad a review to make it longer just for the sake of it filling a page. So I'm obviously, if you ever read my rom-com reviews, some of them are a little bit longer, and then some of them are like, you know, a paragraph and a half. Like, and I try to like separate some of them so it looks a little bit longer, but sometimes I just don't have a lot to say about it. It was like, okay, well, this was fine, or this was mediocre, and then sometimes I just want to gush a little bit about something, and it's so much, it's less stressful for me that way. I feel less pressure when I do agree to write a review for something. If I grab a movie from the features, or I'm just writing it for my own blog, I feel less, once I start to feel obligation to write, I don't want to do it, you know?
Mhm.
So once I can sit down and just kind of put stuff down and just kind of go with my brain flow, because I just can't, my brain is an unorganized hellscape. If you guys were in my brain, you would want to die. So I will just get it down, try to make it as neat as possible, and hope that I haven't made too many typos. So that's basically my process. I like it to be a little bit more informal and casual when I'm writing, and it's just, I find it more fun that way, I guess. So that's my procedure. That's how I go about it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
When you're putting together the bullet point notes, is it just random thoughts about the movie, or are you trying to form an outline?
No, it's just random thoughts, and then I take the random thoughts as I'm writing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then I'll just stick it in there somewhere. Like,
Grab this one here,
Scream
grab that one
7.
there.
Yeah, Scream 7. I definitely had thoughts in the third act, and I was like, that was stupid. This was dumb. This made no sense. You know, this killer had completely zero purpose or motivation. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. What the bleep?
It's after dark.
No,
Yeah.
it
It
is
is after dark.
You can say what the fuck if
I
you
guess
want
we
to.
are
Let it
PG-13, so we get 2 fucks, right? Like, we get at
Yeah.
least 2. So there's your
True.
2. But yeah, it was so it's just like certain things, like, or if I'm just randomly cooking dinner for my kids and I remember part of the movie that I was like, so I'll just grab my phone real quick and write it down before I write the review. It's never an outline. It's just a bunch of random thoughts that I've had. Kind of like those 25 thoughts I had while watching 10 Things I Hate About You that you see on like freaking cosmopolitan.com or whatever. So that's kind of how I go about it. And then I try to make it into a readable review for people to actually be able to follow something coherent.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, Val, Brian, do you guys, I want to throw the same question to you guys. When you're going to write a review, do you also jot down bullet points? And are you jotting down bullet points as an outline, or just normal thoughts, or just like random thoughts, or
I am
no bullet points whatsoever?
I'm pure stream of consciousness writer.
Right.
Like I kind of just write the entire thing, like start to finish.
That's
and
awesome.
then go back and make it not horrible. That is like my entire writing process, is just like I immediately write the first draft. I go back through it and change anything that doesn't make sense. And Duke can attest to this, that sometimes there are still sentences that make no sense, and he'll like message me and be like, did you mean to say this? And I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. But yeah, actually, unlike you, Ramona, I usually write it immediately when I get home.
Yeah.
From the theater. I'm like, get my thoughts out there. The only time I'll wait is if I really hated it. And the reason,
that's usually when I feel like I can really write it quickly if I hated it.
It depends on, because like with like War of the Worlds, I really didn't care if I was hurting anyone's feelings. I was like,
is that
everyone
the Ice
who
Cube?
worked on this movie knows what it is. Like
the new one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was terrible.
Like that movie's really bad. But like when I got back from Wuthering Heights, I was really mad. I was like so upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am too upset to write like,
this.
a well thought out review. So I need to like step away from this for a few hours and then like come back and talk coherently about it. Because otherwise it would have just been like, this is a messy, stupid movie that's way overhyped, and it's just, but at the same time, I almost overcorrected because I gave it 2.5 stars, and really, I could have given it 2. It wasn't a good movie.
I
at
do
all.
regret my star ratings after the fact a lot of the
Yeah,
time,
me too.
especially since we've started putting them on the site. And I told Duke that was my kryptonite for my reviews because I'm always forgetting. And then he'll ping me later, be like, "Hey, I need a star review," and I'm like, or a star rating. I'm like, dang it! But then I'll put one up there, and then I don't know, like a week or two later, I'll be like, I really wish I had like bumped that down or bumped it up, you know. So
Mhm.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm always trying to be like, I don't know.
I'm a
Like, 'cause
tinkerer.
it just
Yeah.
changes. Yeah, it changes so often in my head the more I think about things. So.
I tinker on Letterboxd so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moves back and forth.
I do that too. I'll
It's
go back a
like
year later and be like, no.
movie,
get it
yeah,
down.
movie from 6 months ago. I'll be thinking about, I think I gave it this, but really
Yeah.
now I think it's more this.
Yeah.
But then I get like, I haven't just seen it, 6 months later or a year later. So
Yeah.
like, am I remembering the movie correctly? Was I more correct right when it was fresh?
Mhm.
And I also feel that way a little bit when I write reviews. Like if I wait like 3 or 4 days is okay, but if I wait
Yeah.
like a week or 2 weeks, it can get to the point where I like can't quite pinpoint the movie anymore. And so if it's
Right.
available streaming, I can like go back and
Mhm.
watch certain parts, or oh, I want to talk about this scene, like let me see, or pull a quote from that or whatever, and that can be helpful to return back. But there is a sweet spot where it's like maybe not immediate, and maybe not too long that I've forgotten. And sometimes I've found now that I can use writing as a way to process how I feel about something. So
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter when it is, but I'll go in with a little bit more of a like, I don't know how I felt about that movie, and I'm trying to figure it out, and just use
Right.
writing as a way to sort of figure
Yeah.
out where I landed on it.
Yeah.
So that, and those usually tend to be like at least trying something novel or interesting. You get to the point where you see the same thing over and over again, and you sort of have a category for it of like, oh, this did this and this and this, so therefore it is this sort of movie and should be like rated accordingly.
Mhm.
But when you see something that breaks out of those categories, it can be a little harder to place like how you actually felt about it. And so writing can be really helpful for me in like figuring that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
are you more of a outliner then, or are you more of a stream of consciousness writer then?
I've become more of an outliner over the past year. I've been writing for Screenage for about a year, a little bit before then on my letterbox, but that's the extent of my serious writing about movies. At first, it was very like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and sort of write paragraphs. And I sort of had a like, okay, I finish a paragraph. I was like, okay, what do I talk about now? Maybe I talk about the acting in the next paragraph. So I'll like go through the performances and what I thought about them. And maybe the next one is about the themes, and maybe the next one is about the technical elements. And so I had all of these like ideas, but I found it was when I started writing, my reviews would be shorter, and I was sort of struggling for what to write, or how to like fill out a full review versus just like the couple of sentences of what I thought about it. Um, and just getting more experience, that's gotten a little less difficult. I feel like I can dive more deeply into stuff rather than just giving it a sentence or two, be like, oh, that's an interesting train of thought, let's like follow it where it leads. And I got sort of bored of like just writing a paragraph about the acting every time, so and like covering the same things in every movie, when not every movie do you need to talk about every single aspect of it, or like each Oscars category of
Right.
what came up in the movie. So now I try to think about like what am I excited to talk about in this movie? And I do, Ramona, like you, I'm jotting down notes because that helps me when I get to that place where I'm like, I don't really know what to talk about. Look back at the notes and, oh, I could introduce that element or structure it. And then I do usually outline pretty well of like, okay, I want to talk about this first and this and this, and I'll like move it around before it's written.
Yeah.
And I think that has really improved like how I feel about my own writing, to have a little bit more of a structure to it of like, well, if I talk about this, then this, then this, then it flows well and, you know, makes sense in a trying to convey what I'm trying to convey. So I do outline usually, but then I have some flexibility of like, if I write a paragraph and it's like, oh, that doesn't really fit there, I'll move things around and tinker and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it does just depend. I mean, we have a lot of freedom at Screen Age to, you know, write however we want, have our own styles, and do things how we want. So it does sort of depend on like, does this movie deserve this level of effort, or am I just, you know, trying to steer people away or say, this is just more of the same or whatever. And then, you know, maybe I don't put so much effort into the review, but some that's really like worthwhile. I do enjoy finding that structure and that voice, and usually find myself more drawn to like the themes of the movie or what it's trying to do and the ways in which it's successful. And I try to focus on that more so in the review than like just compiling lists of aspects of the movie, you know. Just like find a main central theme to structure my writing around and really focus in on that and the ways it's unpacked through the movie. So that's more what I'm trying to do now, and I feel better about my writing doing it that way, I've found.
Very cool. Well,
it's always nice finding the sweet spot of how you write your reviews where it makes sense and also is fun to do.
Yeah.
It's for a long time I tried to like mimic other critics of, okay, well, they're structuring there this way, so this is clearly how it has to be done. But man, that's really difficult to do when you just maybe it's just me, like I said, with my ADHD, I just can't focus on like always having that particular structure. I just got to write it, and if I enjoy writing it, that's what makes me want to do more of the reviews. So, and I agree, I do love that we have so much freedom on the site to write our own style and not have to follow like a particular, I mean, obviously there are things that, you know, bolding and all that crap, but it's nice being able to I don't mean that like this is all crap rules, but I'm just saying
you know, when you've gotten a message from about formatting.
Formatting, yeah, and it's not like we're like
he's so nice about it though.
He is. We're being dramatic about it. He is. But it's
Raf.
You're a repeat offender. That's the problem. But it's not like English class, you know, where they made you like read the English writing books where you had to follow these writing rules and have it be look and sound and read a specific way. And that's one thing, I think that's why I've been at Screenage Wasteland as long as I have. And then the site before they made Screenage Wasteland, it was because they're so flexible with, you know, write your style, write how you want to do it. And going into it, I had I was like imposter syndrome out the ass because I was like, I don't belong on this. Like these guys, like Sailor has watched a bajillion million gazillion movies, 99% of which I have never even heard of. So I'm like, what am I doing writing reviews with these guys who know all these movies that I've never seen, I will probably never watch. But again, it's that welcoming, you know, this is something we've created together. It's our sandbox. We get to write how we're comfortable writing. And yeah, it's so much more fun than just trying to follow, you know, in someone else's footsteps that do it better than me. So now it's Raf's turn.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, Raf, are you more of a bullet point writer or stream of consciousness, somewhere in between?
Yeah.
I'm a note taker for sure. If depending on the movie, there have been some movies where I'm in the theater, and if it's not that crowded, I'm taking my
take out your
phone out
phone
and
and-
writing down notes while
Yeah.
while watching. Otherwise, like on my way home, I'm jotting down all the thoughts that I had throughout the course of the movie, whether it be like a specific scene or a theme that I'm picking up on, like all that stuff. I'm a copious note taker, love taking notes.
That's
And
awesome.
then
Yeah.
I usually won't have it ready to like write that same day. I'll usually wait like a day or two and then come back to those notes and start to figure out how I want to like formalize them. Brian, kind of similar to you, I think I like you like to have like a thesis that you want to have about the movie, and then everything kind of then like fits into that. Like for me, the structure of the notes like finds itself as I start writing. I also wanted to ask you guys, do you like to start with like what is going to be my opening sentence? Am I coming up with like a banging lead, or do you start
I'm
at the
so
end?
glad you brought this up, because what I do, I hate writing an opening sentence. Often I will write the entire review and not write
And
the
then go
opening
back.
sentence, and then just be like, well, I guess my first sentence is my opening sentence. But sometimes I start it with like a banger of an opening, but like very rarely, because I find that if I start there, I will get like holed up there and won't be able to write anything. So I'll often like
Yeah.
skip it and come back to it, or not come back to it at all.
Yeah.
I put so much
I-
emphasis
I-
on that. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I spend way too much time like staring at my computer. How am I going to open this review? It needs to, fully lock in the reader so that they're like, this is the best review that anyone has ever written about Mission Impossible
I've
7.
never thought of that once. No. I actually I get away from having to do that, because my first sentences, I always 99% of the time, I always write like a little tiny synopsis of the movie at the beginning. Like so and so, blah, blah, blah.
That's what
And
I do.
then-
I can't think of anything.
Yeah. And then I just got stuck on doing that. I'm like, this is just easy for me just to write, okay, this is what the movie's about. And then I usually will start like, it's always from my point. It's like from my feelings. Someone was like, oh, I was really excited to see this movie and blah, blah, blah. And here's a little bit of history with whatever. And rather than now I'm going to like my next review, I'm going to be like, I need a banger of an opening set. Like I'm going to try really hard to come up with a really gripping opening sentence.
Like I think I said in my review for Salem's Lot, which wasn't even a very good movie, and it went straight to streaming, but I was like, the Stephen King Renaissance is back, baby. Because like I had a really fun time watching it, but then the longer I sat with that movie, I was like, it wasn't that good. But
I know, but you know what? Even terrible movies can be fun, so that's why I always
remember how I felt reading the book, and I think I appreciated that about it. So
the book is amazing. Just saying.
It's a great book.
Yeah,
I do opening. I find figuring out the opening really fun. I usually put plot recap in the second paragraph, because they do ask us to recap the plot in some form or fashion in the review.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things that is like, you should do this because people are trying to figure out whether they want to watch this or not. So you need to actually like talk about what the movie's about. So totally fine. So that's usually a second paragraph, and usually I can get a paragraph about like, here's what's interesting about this, or here's what the hook is. But I worked in marketing for a little bit, so like finding the hook is really fun for me, and figuring out how to phrase it in a fun way. So I'm sort of, I guess, marketing the movie for the people who made it or whatever. But or
for
you
free.
know, if I didn't like the movie, I'm using a hook on like why I think the movie is bad or doesn't work. So that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I do want to talk though about closings, which I hate figuring out how to close reviews.
I love the closings.
You love the closing? I hate
feel
it
like
so much.
I feel like the closing is my opening. Like if I can come up with a good closing sentence about the movie, I'm so proud of myself. I think it was like my Hell of a Summer closing. I was so proud. I was so proud of that closing on that review. I was like, nailed it. The beginning was terrible, but I was like, this is great. So I feel like, to me, I always love doing my last like sentence or two. I always think those are the most fun.
I think my last sentence always boils down to I really liked this movie or I really didn't. Like,
Yeah.
so it's
And
either
that's
like
usually-
good riddance or it's like, hell yeah,
Right.
watch this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
it's
what
fun.
I think that's the best way to do it, because people are, sometimes if I'm reading reviews, I'll like, I start reading about it, oh, they're getting into the plot or whatever. Let me go to the very end to see what they thought about it. And that's
Right.
sort of the place where it usually goes, along with maybe a rating. So I think that is a good place. My problem is I'm not thinking about the closing because I just don't like doing it. And so I put all of my thoughts in the stuff before. And then my last paragraph, I'm like, I got to put in like a closing sentence. And how does it even relate to this paragraph or whatever? And
Yeah.
just ends up being bad, I think. But
What were you saying,
I don't know.
Raph?
I like the last sentence or two. For me, I always try to, not always try to, but I like to try to bring it back to whatever my kooky opening hook is in some way, shape, or
Yeah.
form. But the first sentence of the last paragraph always trips me up because I don't want it to sound like a college essay where I'm like, in summary, here's what I think about this movie.
I do that. Ultimately,
I
in the
do
end,
that like every time because I kind of see my last paragraph as like a too long didn't read. Like,
Yeah.
if I can sum up my entire review in like 2 or 3 sentences for
Yeah.
people who just don't want to read the rest of it,
yeah,
here's an idea of what I thought about it. So like I am kind of doing it summary, but like
yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's the
I
way
was
to
just
go.
reading
For
mine
some reason,
Wuthering
I'm like
Heights, and it was
allergic
scathing.
to doing that.
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
get it.
I
And
feel really cheesy doing it, but it is
I
like
love it.
you don't
It's fun.
you don't want to be introducing like a bunch of new information. It is really like
Right.
I could do a sentence that sums it up, but how do I fill a whole paragraph and not like introduce a lot of new information, but then I'm just like writing about what I've already written about and trying to fill a full paragraph's worth. I don't know, it's tricky.
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe I just need real short paragraphs, like 1 or 2 sentence paragraphs at the end. No reason I couldn't do that.
Yeah, mine are always really short. I think it's 3 or 4 sentences is my last paragraph, and then I try to put a little whether or not you should watch a movie at the end there. And
Yeah.
thought
I
of
try
it.
to relate it to like if you like this kind of movie, maybe you should
Mhm.
watch it, but if you don't, maybe you shouldn't. If I feel kind of mixed about it, but yeah, generally I'm trying to kind of sum up my thoughts like in short, this is what worked, this is what didn't. If you like this, watch this, and that's kind of it's interesting that I don't stress out. Sometimes I do stress out the last sentence if I'm trying to bring it all together, but generally I stress the first sentence a lot more.
Yeah.
I do like, Val and Ramona, that you guys
go ahead, Raf.
I was going to say, I like that you guys, your reviews kind of end up boiling down to a recommendation or not of a movie, which I feel like I never end up doing. I'll like read through my reviews and it's kind of unclear as to whether or not I like the movie. And then you get to the end and you're like, I thought this guy loved it. Why is it 2 stars?
I know, it'd be like 1.5 stars. This movie had this great, this was great, this was great. 1 star.
I remember I read your review, Raf, of Sinners when it first came out. And you were kind of going through like the whole thing. And then you got to the end, it was like 4.5 stars. And I was like, this movie deserves 5 stars.
I know. Me too. 4.5 stars. Is he crazy? God, did he not watch the same movie?
No, but you were kind of going through like every piece of it. So, I mean, I still think that's
it's
a
good
way to
review.
write. It's just a different way. And I think it's interesting and really great that Screenage has all these different ways of writing reviews. Because I always feel like I feel like I've become a better writer just from reading all the reviews and just getting like the practice of like continuous writing, being on the Screenage team.
Nothing better for becoming a better writer than just consistently writing,
Oh yeah,
just getting it out there.
So I have a fun question, actually. I want to see if any of you guys want to talk about some of the editorials you've written and like maybe one you really liked that you want to talk about. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of
I
fun.
don't think I've written any. I mean, I don't think I've done any editorials. I've written for the canon, for those specific movies that we have in the canon, and I really enjoy writing those for movies I feel very passionately about. I do try and stick to like a certain structure with that, and keeping like, oh, here's a little history of the movie and here's some fun facts about the movie. And so those are really fun for me to write. I think maybe a little bit more than reviews, but I like to pick movies that I feel, like I said, I'm very passionate about and I'm a big fan of, rather than one I'm just like, oh, it was all right. Because then I'm like, like I have to read about this movie now and try to figure out how to write this. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was. I mean, any of the ones that I've written, I think that I've enjoyed writing all those. I really enjoyed writing. I think I did. I think I did Return of the King, or maybe it was Fellowship. I did one of the Lord of the Rings canon that I really enjoyed writing those because it's some of my favorite movies. And then, of course, when Harry, I think I did When Harry Met Sally. I better have done When Harry Met Sally. So, I mean, those kind of movies, I don't know. I get really into that because then I get to like do a deep dive into the movie of things I didn't know or, wanted to find out and put those in there. So I would like to do an editorial. It's just, I never have any ideas. Like, I love the editorials that you've done, Val. Like, I'm always like, how do these people come up with these ideas and just like put it out there? Like, I would just be like, I don't have a freaking clue on where to even start for that. So, but the canon ones are a lot of fun. I find those really enjoyable to do.
Yeah, I agree that writing for the canon is super fun. I think that I enjoyed both of the ones I did last year, but I think more I enjoyed Snowpiercer because I love Bong Joon-ho, and doing so much research about that movie, which I love. I was like, I get to just talk about the South Korean economy for like
yes,
a whole paragraph.
I know.
It's like, this is what's educating the background of Bong Joon-ho when he's writing this. Even though it's based on a French graphic novel, but like, yeah, I agree that writing the canon is super fun for that reason. It is fun.
Yeah, I'm just doing my first ones for the canon now, and it has been fun to like dive into the history and like where were different actors in their careers when they made this. I just did one for The Sting, which was really fun to dive into. I don't think that's been published yet. I don't know if we've started our Vault 5 yet, but I had watched The Sting recently, so I just knocked it out.
It's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But I mostly have just done reviews. I did a couple of like roundup posts from Virtual Sundance. And so that was sort of fun to like structure. Okay, here, it almost ended up being like a tiered list of like, here were the cream of the crop, here like the pretty solid, and here are the ones that I didn't really vibe with. And so that was fun, sort of thinking through, okay, what do I really want to highlight? What's just like, this is solid, worth checking out, this maybe not so much. So yeah.
I did like that format. Favorite editorials, I think for me, my Perfect Days editorial was probably like
I was thinking of that one.
My favorite thing that I've ever written. Really because it was just like super therapeutic and like personal, to dive into to that and my relationship to that movie and my relationship to Japan and all that stuff. So, I mean, super narcissistic. I go back and reread that like maybe once a month.
I would.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like it feels super touching, and it was nice to. I really enjoyed the barrier between reviews and editorials, where when I write a review, I am trying to strive for some semblance of objectivity, even though I don't think that that's really a thing. But I try not to like throw in my personal feelings, even though like it's impossible to write your thoughts about a movie without injecting your own personal taste. But in editorials, I truly feel like it's me writing in a journal or something, which can be a lot more fun and less daunting than a review. Like I don't know when this is going to end up coming out. But recently I wrote a review, and that took me like over the course of 3 days to to put together. And then I wrote an editorial that it was like twice as long, and I banged it out in like an hour and a half.
I love it when that happens.
Sometimes I could just get in the zone and it's like, okay,
it's
then I'll just
done.
go in and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that was great. I've really locked in there and just knocked the whole thing out. And sometimes it is really like, pulling teeth to get that. I'm sitting there like with that opening sentence like, no, that isn't quite right.
Yeah.
I find it harder to write reviews for movies that I'm indifferent towards. Like ones
That's
I really the ones I really dislike are the easiest because I can just spew out all the hatred I have for this film. Oh, puppy. And then sometimes with a movie I love, like I said, I could just gush. But then movies I'm like, all right, it was fine. Sometimes I just can't do it. Sometimes I'm just like, I can't, there's nothing in my head that I want to write for this movie. It was fine. That was it.
Yeah.
Like I can't think
Have you
of
ever
anything.
signed up for a review that you end up not writing because you just don't have anything to say about it?
The Black Phone 2, because nobody had picked it, and I was like, well, I can do it because I had just seen it. And I love horror movies. Like I always have something to say. But it was all right. I just didn't feel anything for it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, the first one, I loved the first one. I could write a review for that one. I love the first one. The second one, I was just like, all right. Like, and I was just like, Duke never asked me about it. So I was like, whew, good. He hasn't like, where's your review? I just couldn't. I really did. I sat down and I tried. I was like, what do I think about this movie? But like, it would have been like a 3-sentence review. I'm like, watch the first movie. You don't need to watch this one. There you go.
No, I agree with that completely. I think it's the hardest for me when I feel mediocrely about a screener.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, this is already like a movie that's not getting a broad release, typically from like, Cineverse or one of those distributors.
Yeah.
And it's usually a small team. So like, I never feel good feeling like as a reviewer to like punch down on something that's already really low budget.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to just come out there and be like, this is super mid. Like, I try really hard to find stuff I like about it, but sometimes I feel bad saying this, but sometimes I'll watch them like a second or third time just to be like, maybe I'll spot something this time.
I hated it. I did a review for a low budget indie film a couple years ago. And they sent it to me and I watched it and it was fine. The guy who wrote it also started it, should not have started it. Like it just shouldn't have. And it just, I couldn't connect with it, but I still gave it a 3-star review because I knew they were gonna, like, they wanted me to send them the review and I was like, the link, and I was like, I know I don't want to be like, here's my 2-star review of the fact that you shouldn't have starred in this movie, and if you had cast somebody else it might have been better. So I did. I focused on the positive things, like how it was a beautifully shot movie, like New York with snow in the winter was gorgeous at night, like that kind of thing. But it was like, and I was like, I can't do screeners anymore. Like I can't, because if I didn't like it, I'm still too nice, I think, to give it a bad review because I know they're going to see it and then I'll feel guilty. So I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore.
I just don't, I won't review it if I've seen something and it's like, this isn't like worth time, because it's not, it's not something that the people who are reading Screenage are going to have heard of probably. And so like, they're not really going to enjoy reading about a movie that they've never heard of that wasn't any good. And the people who made the movie aren't going to be happy with the bad review. So it's like, who am I even writing this for at this point? Yeah.
Definitely not writing it for yourself.
Screeners, though, is that I have found that more times than not, I do find something I really enjoy about the movie. And then there is kind of the chance to discover something new, especially if that screener like has somebody who's like a fairly big name. Like I'll just name, like, I think it was The Huntsman that I reviewed recently that had like a big name star in it. And that movie was pretty great, honestly. I really liked it. It had one of the main cast members from Lost in it, and like, it wasn't a perfect movie, but like, I think if people looked it up on Tubi, they'd have a great time. So like, I think there's the other hand about it is like you might be turning people on to something new that they would really enjoy.
Yeah.
Not to peel back the curtain too much, but for screeners specifically, I feel like that's where the star review really hurts. Where I could write a review about a movie that we get as a screener or whatever, and write something that is good for that movie and feels like it's celebrating that movie in the way that it needs to be. It's critical of that movie in the way that it needs to be, but is it mean? And then, okay, we have to attach a star rating to it. And okay, we can either lie to, you know, be nice to the folks who are sending this over to us and the filmmakers who worked really hard on this, and we understand that it's difficult to make a movie, or we're honest and then we hurt their feelings even though they worked super hard on this, and it's, you know, really personal to them, and it's not something where you can say, okay, Warner Brothers, this big studio, these big evil scary corporation guys, they're the ones who ruined this movie. Like, no, this movie was bad because these guys were kind of bad. But I feel like that it's the star rating specifically for those that comes back to bite us. Or for me.
No, I agree with that. I think I try not to think about it. And I'm just kind of like, if they were to ask me directly, I would be like, look, you're not Robert Eggers. You're not Park Chan-wook. Like, those are the directors that are going to get a 5-star every single time. And that's not saying that you're bad. It's just not saying you're at that level. And like, that's how I would explain it to them. And I would just say, like, look, I talked about the things I enjoyed, because 2.5 stars is middle of the road. Like, it is like, this is a 5 out of 10. So yeah, I don't know. I try to come like prepared to like defend myself, but so far none of the screener directors that have like emailed have been like, why'd you do this to my movie? Like, everybody's been very nice.
Creators hopefully have somewhat of a healthy view of criticism, of like, I'm putting my art out there, and criticism and attention is a good thing, but that doesn't mean that everybody's gonna like it. Maybe there's something to be learned from critical response as well, of areas, or maybe there's some people who just, I'm just going to ignore all criticism and just focus on what makes me feel good, and that's totally fine as well. So I think, you know, in the big picture scheme of things, like, movie criticism is important, and it's important to distinguish the good from the bad, because then, you know, if everything is, you know, 4 stars and above, then we're doing a disservice to like the things that are really, really good, you know, and not highlighting those appropriately. So I think there's a little bit of a distinction there of, I sometimes have to put on my mean hat and be like, well,
with that,
I just need to actually say what I think, you know.
Kind of in the same vein, have you guys ever written reviews that you think are bad? Because in some way we are putting ourselves out there as writers to craft these reviews of movies, and it's honestly, I think, sometimes kind of fun. Like, I gave a kind of mid review to Top Gun Maverick, and people were not thrilled. I wrote a pretty mid review of F1, and people were not thrilled. Are there any reviews that you guys have written that have kind of ruffled some feathers, either on purpose or just because that was genuinely how you felt about a movie?
So I think I was too complimentary in my review of Shelby Oaks. I was coming from a place of, I just, again, with writing this review right after I saw it, I just really liked it. And I actually went on the Watch If You Dare podcast, which Raf has also been on. And I was talking to Aaron about it, and he was like, it had all these issues. And he was like explaining them, and he's been to film school. He knows so much more about this than I do. And when he was explaining it, I was like, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Oh no. So that is one review I kind of think of like, wow, I probably should have sat with that one a little bit before. I still maintain that I liked it, but I think I could have been maybe a little bit more thoughtful with my review. Other reviews that I think suck are more just ones that I didn't like know what to talk about and I didn't want to like rant and rave. And so like Honey Don't, my review of that's pretty bad just because I think that movie's kind of bad and I didn't really like know how to talk about it because it wasn't bad in a way that was like notable. It was just bad in a way that was like, yeah, it's fine. And yeah, I think those are the hardest movies for me are writing reviews where I just kind of feel like this was bad, but I don't feel strongly about it.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, if I go back to like my writing from a year ago when I started, it's like, oh, I don't feel so good about that anymore. Just in like the way I was doing things, I feel like I've learned a lot. In terms of actual like opinions about the movies, um, I'm open to being convinced by something, and sometimes like rewatching, I will change, not super drastically, but some, a bit. I'll like it more, like it less, or whatever. Um, but I'm usually pretty stubborn in my impressions of something. And I also sort of feel like, you know, if something doesn't hold up on rewatch, that should factor in somewhat, but also the first watch is important, so my feelings of it the first time are also, those also count for something. And you can't necessarily recreate that. So like, I don't know, rewatching Hitman, knowing where it was going, was sort of less fun, but it was so delightful the first time. Or like Bugonia, another one from this year that, rewatched it and it's like, that's less fun the second time, for obvious reasons. But that first time experience is really important to like what I thought of the movie and a big part of what the movie's trying to do. So I don't know, that I try not to change my opinions too much, maybe just because I'm stubborn. I guess I want to be open to being convinced by good writing on something of like, oh, I see what that was trying to do, or maybe I missed that and could revisit it, because I'm not like, I'd say I'm below average on like catching things that movies are doing. I'll go through or like miss certain plot points, or I never remember anybody's names in a movie, or things like that. So yeah, I'm always open to like learning more, discovering things that I had missed. But the biggest thing I think is how the movie made me feel. And so I usually don't change my opinion much on that.
Yeah. In terms of what you said about like ruffling some feathers, maybe purposely so, I was going back through my reviews and I wrote a review for this 2004 straight to Netflix movie called Carry On. I don't know if anyone even remembers that movie.
Is that the one with?
I thought it was garbage. I hated it so much. I thought it was one of the worst performances I had seen from, gosh, what's that guy's name? Not Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
From Jason Bateman. I thought it was like the worst Jason Bateman performance. Like he just showed up and was like, "I am villain. Sucks. I am bad. Give me this." And like, and I was talking to Duke about it. And he was like, "I liked it," and I'm like, "You're entitled to be wrong."
I will say, "I Am Villain" is the perfect movie title. Like, let's make a movie called "I Am Villain." I love that. That would be amazing.
Someone write it and send me a check.
Oh my god.
To Brian's point, though, isn't that kind of like what we're trying to do as people who are writing movie reviews, is write something whether it is, directly saying you should watch this movie, you should not watch this movie, or through what it is that you write, letting kind of it trying to help inform someone's taste. Like, are there critics or reviewers who you guys will read and like really trust their opinion? If they write glowingly about something, if they recommend something, you'll check it out? Like, isn't that kind of what we're aspiring to with the reviews that we write in a way?
Yeah,
I
that's
say
a good
all the
point.
time, I don't care what critics think, which is funny because I'll write what I think and expect people to like read it and be like, oh, okay. But I am somebody who I'm like, most of the time, the people that I love to read reviews from, like outside of our site, most of the time they don't like the movies that I do anyway. So like, I'm always kind of like, well, okay, this is getting terrible reviews, whatever, and I'll watch it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that was pretty bad, but then sometimes I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, this was so good. And but I do, when I write, I try to, especially with my rom-com reviews, I try to be like, oh, this is great for a mindless Sunday when you have nothing else to do and you just need something on in the background. This would be the perfect movie for that. I kind of just try to be like, if you're looking for this, then this is good. If you're not, don't bother. But most of the time, I don't know that there is one particular person that if they love something, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see that. It's usually just if I see the trailer and it looks interesting, I'll see it regardless of what people are saying about it.
So I will say there is a reviewer I trust, and it is Bob Mondello from NPR. Pretty much every time he has given something a rave review, I have seen it and agreed with it. And this, in 2025, to my knowledge, his big rave reviews were for Sinners and Surratt. And I still haven't gotten around to watching Surratt, but I'm confident when I get around to watching it, I will really enjoy it. And I honestly, I bought a ticket after hearing his review, so nice. I guess me and Bob are tight.
I think
I really trust his reviews.
I think you'll probably like it.
Yeah, probably.
I think you're probably right about that.
I feel like if you didn't like Sinners, then I'm not gonna listen to anything that you say about any movie ever. So. That's just me.
Yeah, I
you gave it 4.5 stars instead of a full 5. Yeah.
I mean,
hey, I can't hate on Raf because I gave The Witch 4.5 stars, and I like regret it to this day.
Should it have been 5? You think?
Yes.
Oh, y'all. Oh God.
Oh, do you not like The Witch?
I don't like The Witch.
We're gonna. I will say. There are movies that I've watched because of your guys' reviews. I've read reviews that the three of you and other folks on the website have written, and I've then gone to check out those movies because I trust your guys' movie opinion. So
100%.
Yeah.
I say that.
I do okay, let me rephrase then. I do trust your guys' opinions on movies just because I've spoken to all of you more than once. I do read your reviews. I do trust your God, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. See, this is why I don't drink when I'm talking to people. All the words go out of my head. But I do trust your guys' reviews, and I do enjoy reading them. And I have watched movies because you guys have referred them. Actually, Jacob and I were talking earlier on Weekend Wrap Up that is available on YouTube now. But it's Quentin Tarantino month at Saw. And I have not seen one Quentin Tarantino movie ever. Like, there's something about a style that I just never got into. Somebody recommended starting with Jackie Brown. I said being a horror fan, I'm usually desensitized to a lot of gore and violence, but there's something about Quentin Tarantino's violence that I just can't watch it. So they recommended Jackie Brown, and then Jacob and I were talking about his favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. And he suggested watching Inglourious Bastards and what was the other one?
Django Unchained.
Yes, that is. He said those were his 2 5-star QT movies. So I might actually watch, because he said that they're pretty good. I might watch those and see if I agree with them. So
I have a hot take. Instead of watching Kill Bill Part 1 and 2, just go watch Lady Snowblood, and you'll have a better time.
That's a good take. Yeah.
Okay.
Cosign. Yep.
Lady Snowblood. Like, I watched Kill Bill and I liked it, but then I went and watched Lady Snowblood and was like, oh, well, this is infinitely better.
Ladies,
like, oh, this is
that
where you
will
got
be
all
hard to
those
remember.
ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Y'all,
Yeah.
there's movie from the same era of Japanese cinema called Tokyo Drifter. That is very, like, even maybe more so, like, oh, QT just straight up stole his style from this movie.
Okay, well,
See?
that's on Apple TV.
Which
so I'm
he,
probably
you
gonna
know,
watch that.
he's open about, like, very much being influenced by
He is.
a bunch of that sort of stuff. So it's
Is that
not,
why they say when they steal
Yeah.
they steal someone's idea? I was influenced by this.
yeah, I was influenced by this. so.
Okay.
Well, for Kill Bill, if you go to Kill Bill Volume 1 on it literally names Kazuo Kimamura as one of the writers for Kill Bill because he wrote Lady Snowblood.
That's crazy.
So do with that
Then
what
why
you will.
don't I just watch the movies that he stole from and just watch those instead? Then I don't
Exactly,
have to
you should.
look at all the close-ups.
They're
of
great
feet and
movies.
stuff.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
No, Quentin Tarantino has made movies that I have enjoyed, to be clear. I'm not like fully hating on him. I think he's not a very nice person, but
I sort of wish he made bad movies because he's such an asshole.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's made a
Yeah.
few.
That was part of it too. That was like, he's such an unlikable person to me that it's hard.
Yeah,
And
him
I
hating
watched
on Paul
movie-
Dano and
hating on Matthew
Matthew
Lillard.
Lillard?
Hello, my boy.
why? Like,
Um,
these
and
are
it-
people that have done nothing to him. Like,
Right. It's just, I don't know. I think he tries too hard to be like eccentric. That it's just like, you're not helping your cause whatsoever. And I've never been a huge fan of his anyway. So it's just, but I can't, I've watched movies with people in it and directed by people that I'm not fond of as people.
For
so,
sure.
I can't just say like, oh, I won't watch it because I don't like him. But
Yeah.
there's just
It
something
is
about
Quentin
his
Tarantino
style.
month. Celebrate,
It is. So
separate the art
I-
from the artist. We
I
enjoy
don't
his
want to.
movies.
I don't want to. Push people away from celebrating Quentin Tarantino at the Wasteland this month. So it was just funny that I'm on the weekend wrap up, and one of the topics is Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, I've never watched one of his movies, so I don't know what to tell you other than I've seen clips. Every now and then I'll read a Wikipedia. I was interested in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I knew I wasn't really going to see it, so I just read the
saw
Wikipedia
that
page.
I want to point out that Raf ranked that one last.
I
And
saw,
I haven't
which
seen it, so
I
I
saw.
have no.
You're writing something about this, aren't you, Raf?
About how terrible
So-
it is.
The editorial that I referred to before which might be out by the time this video is released, is about why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is easily his worst movie. And
Yeah,
I didn't
hell
realize how
yeah.
passionately I felt about it. And I wrote like 1,200 words in an hour and a half about why that movie
I love
sucks.
that.
See, when you don't like something, it's so much easier to write
Yeah.
down why you don't like something. To me,
It's a terrible take, and I can't wait to read it.
I will
Whoa,
say, on the
Brian, that
subject
kind of
of
surprises me. I thought that you would be
editorials-
on my
I
side
like
of
it.
the.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
I
it's
thought
not
that-
his best movie, but I don't know. I'm interested to read what you have to say about it, for sure.
I will say the Quentin Tarantino movie I hated the most that I've seen is The Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
Jacob
that's my
didn't like
least
that one
favorite.
either. That was one of his least favorite. Yeah,
That one's awful. I
Yeah.
fell asleep during it.
man.
But on the subject of editorials that of things you don't like, I will say that one of my favorite editorials I ever wrote was I watched War of the Worlds 2025, so you don't have to. And I was deeply inspired by this incredible blog post I read of somebody watching the Smurfs. And I wish I could cite who it was because it was incredible. It was just like this stream of consciousness of like, where am I? The Smurfs are in Paris. What is life? I'm having a nervous breakdown. And I kind of wanted to like channel that energy into
Oh my god.
Yeah.
this recounting of events. And I do still like to reread. So on
That
what you
is
said,
funny.
Ralph, I reread that review, the War of the Worlds editorial that I wrote.
that
On
editorial.
Because it's funny. I think it's one of
Yeah.
the funnier things I've written.
On
That's
the taking notes while you're watching something, sometimes not for the site, but just for Letterboxd, if I really dislike a movie, and I don't feel like it's worth actually taking the notes I was making and turning it into like a couple sentence letterbox review that's well written. I'll just like copy and paste the notes and be like, I'm too lazy to actually like write about this, and this movie is not worth it.
That's actually a
Usually
good
it's like
idea.
bullet points about how much I dislike. I think I did that for Moana 2.
Oh my god. I will sometimes, if I really don't have much to say about a movie, I'll just put like a one-liner that I'm trying to be funny. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched The Home with Pete Davidson,
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
gosh.
and I will go ahead and spoil that movie.
Yeah,
Skip this clip if people don't
Feel
want it
free.
spoiled. At the end of the movie, he goes like Super Saiyan and rips a guy's dick off.
Jesus
And
Christ.
so I just made my review like twist his dick off, the old dick twist. And you know, I stand by that. That's my
Do you
letterbox
think
review.
Duke would let us get away with posting 1 to 2 sentence reviews for things that we just can't be bothered with?
No.
No.
One of the most one of
Probably
the
not.
most
Oh.
famous reviews of all time is a 4-word review of Bob Dylan's self-portrait. It's
Oh,
what
God.
is this shit?
I kind of love those reviews. Like
I
I
do
was
too.
reading
Yeah.
reviews of Wuthering Heights where somebody was like, I liked when Jacob Elordi looked at the screen and said, "It's Wuthering time."
It's Wuthering time. Yeah, I saw that one. That was awesome.
The reviews of that movie were so good.
Yeah. The bad ones especially.
It's good.
I do have one other question for you guys about reviews. When you sign up to write a review for a new release or whatever, are you then going into the movie and are you watching it a different way than how you would watch a movie if it's just you and your partner on a Friday night throwing something on the TV? Like, do you feel your brain changing in
Yeah.
how you're watching and taking in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah, because when I'm watching it if I'm just going to a movie that I'm not going to review, like with my sister, or I'm at home watching it with my husband, this is just a turning my brain off, enjoying what's on the screen in front of me, pausing it to go to the bathroom, like not really focused. And then I'll rate it on Letterboxd afterward, like, because I'm not going to write anything about it. Oh, I liked it. I didn't like it. Whatever. When I'm going to a movie that I've signed up to do a review for, I am 100% looking at it through a different lens. I'm still watching it with the hope that I'm going to enjoy it, especially if it's one I'm excited to see. But I'm definitely paying more attention to the little things, the cinematography or the production, that kind of stuff. I'm focused a lot more on that than I am if I'm just home watching it. Like, I'll appreciate that stuff, but I'm really not thinking of it like, "Ooh, I can't wait to write about this in my review." It's just kind of like, "Oh, that's a really pretty movie," and that's about it. So yeah, I think I do, which I never used to do that, but since I've been writing for the website, it's been a lot easier, and it's a lot more fun too, to be honest with you, kind of looking at it through a different lens than just a casual moviegoer. Yeah, so for sure.
I think for me, there's a good part and a bad part to like how I watch movies when I know I'm going to review them. And the good part, Ramona, is maybe like the leaning in a little bit more focused and like actually like really thinking through. But I also get a little bit like, if I'm sitting there, and this happened more like when I was just like starting to rate things on Letterboxd versus like actually writing reviews. But if I'm sitting there and constantly reevaluating like what I think I'm going to rate it while I'm watching the movie, it's like, this isn't like an enjoyable experience anymore. I just sort of want to experience the movie. And so I've tried to work out of the habit of like doing the processing or the analyzing while I'm watching and trying to save that a little bit for later. Though you can't entirely, I mean, you're watching a movie and reacting to it, and that's a big part of analyzing. But I try to just have the reaction that I'm going to have naturally, rather than really I can really overthink it when I'm watching something that I'm going to rate or review or be thinking about and talking about with other people. So trying to stay away from that and just experience, just watch the movie, just experience it, and then everything else will come sort of naturally after that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think the
Do you do
rating,
that?
I'll fall into the rating ranking thing, which I really try to fall out of. There's so many times where I'm like catching up on new movies for a certain year, and I'm not even thinking about how it is that I'm responding to the movie. I'm just thinking about, is this better than if I had legs, I'd kick you or something? Like, where
Yeah.
is this
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
in relation to the other movies? And that's the thinking that I try to stay away from. I do think that watching the movie for me and analyzing it and thinking about how it is that I'm responding to it is kind of always how I'm gonna watch movies. So I'm fine with that. I'm always formulating thoughts. I'm always thinking about characters and cinematography and what this shot is communicating, and the history of like the actors and director and writer and all that stuff. That's always swirling around in my mind while watching stuff. So I'm fine with keeping that going if I'm just watching something for funsies or watching it for a review. The annoying part is the thinking about, how many stars am I going to give this, or where does this
Right.
go in my, where is this going to fall in my PTA ranking? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where am I going to rank this Scream 7?
Yeah,
You wanna?
yeah. Where's
I
this fall
think
in the
it's
Scream franchise?
Yeah, where is it gonna fall?
this is something that we all love, and so I think the important thing for me is trying to preserve that joy of just watching things and experiencing them. And so when you start writing and thinking and analyzing, it can get a little bit more you get a little bit jaded or a little in your head. You're like thinking about how other people are going to perceive your opinion of the movie, and it just becomes so layered versus just like, this is something that should be a joy and something that I'm engaging with because maybe it brings me joy and is a nice hobby. Maybe it even like reveals something to me about how the world works, about how others think, and is something that's really meaningful to me. And none of those things have to do with like giving it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd versus 4. And so if you get too in your head about that stuff, it can really
Yeah.
detract from
Yeah.
what we all love about it. So
Yeah.
For sure. I think I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, if I want something to have 5 stars, it gets 5 stars, and I'm gonna try to not think too hard about it. I mean, like, I think some things, like when I saw No Other Choice, I was like, yeah, this is a 5-star movie.
Yep.
And I think when I gave Black Bag 5 stars, I looked back and I'm like, should I have? But like, honestly, it's a really great movie. So
I enjoyed
like,
that movie a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe not, but I still think it's a 5-star movie. So
Yeah, I get questioned a lot when I do 5 stars, especially for like a movie that I've watched with my husband, especially if it's a romantic comedy. Because then I'll post, and he gets notifications when I post a new review, and he'll be like,
oh, that's
"You
sweet.
really gave
That's
that
cute.
5 stars?" I was like, "I loved it." So then I have to like defend my rating to him of why I thought it was 5 stars, or if he thinks something was a 5 star, and I'll be like, "Oh, 3.5, 4." He's like, "You gave that 3? Like, you didn't like that?" I'm like, "Come on, like, no, like, just let me have my opinion." But yeah, he's always questioning why I'm rating something a certain way.
My husband's a huge movie nerd, like maybe more so than me. So like a lot of times I feel like I'm more in a review mindset when I see movies by myself, because like Wuthering Heights, he was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to see that. And I was like, okay. So I went and saw it by myself. And when I'm at the movies by myself, I'm more in the review mindset, because I'm more like, I'm here to see this for a review.
Yeah.
But if it's a movie I happen to be writing a review for, but I'm like going to the movies with my husband to go see it, then I'm less in the review mindset. I'm more like, because we still, regardless of whether I'm writing a review or not, like all the way home we'll be like,
talk about
what did you think about the themes, and what did you think about the characters? Like, we're just like that anyway. So
yeah, same.
That helps.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, for me the rating for Screenage and wherever else is very much like this, I try to just leave it like this is just for fun. I care more about what I've written about it, and just I would not take myself too seriously on the
Mhm. Oh, for
ratings or
sure.
getting too in my head about it, and
Yeah.
just do what I feel like.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a
Yeah.
separate roundtable about ratings because
Man,
I think
It's
there will be a lot of
rough.
questions
It's
about that.
rough.
Yeah,
Especially when you want to rank like I wanted to rate something 3 stars, but then I'll look back at the other movies that I have 3 stars and I'm like, did I
Exactly.
like it as much as those though?
Yeah.
But did I hate like is it the same as the 2.5? Like I will sit there and look and be like, I'm gonna have to change this review then, this rating to make it a half star more because I liked this one a half star less. I can't have them be equally the same. Like it's ridiculous. It's
But I think in
ridiculous.
some ways that's the fun thing about writing editorials is you don't
Yeah,
have to
you don't have to rate
you
it.
can just kind of write about like what you want to write about. So like
Yeah.
my most recent editorial, to plug it, it was about the new Resident Evil movie from Zach
Yeah.
Kreger
Yeah.
and comparing it to the games, which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
So that was just really fun to write and think about, the last 6 games I played and like what, based on what he said, what's going to be in the movie and what isn't.
Mhm.
Like that was really fun to think about. And I didn't have to think about like, oh, is it going to be good or not? Like I think it probably will be.
Yeah.
But also it's like I can just sort of have fun and vibe, write about what I want to write about for this.
I think that's why I
Nice.
love that Perfect Days editorial that I wrote, because it really was just
Yeah.
about my relationship to that movie and what it means to me as a
Yeah.
person, and
Yeah.
how I connect to that piece of art. It's totally removed from a rating or ranking system, which again, like I love writing
Yeah.
reviews. I love trying to formulate my thoughts about a movie that I saw. But then I hate getting to that last part of like, okay, how many stars am I going to give it? Which again goes back to the thing
Yeah.
with the small screeners that we get. I love writing those reviews. I love to think through those movies and what it is that those filmmakers are doing. I don't really care about what the rating is going to be
Review
of
it,
it,
the
because
rating. Yeah.
yeah, the fun part is thinking through the movie and trying to put that into some sort of coherent semblance of words, that we then end up
Yeah.
publishing on the site.
No, I get what, honestly, it was partially inspired by your Perfect Days review that I got like the personal courage to write my editorial about Sorry Baby, because it was like deeply personal. And when I
Yeah.
wrote it, I was like, I don't even know if this is enough about movies. I don't even know if this is any good. Like, so I literally sent it to Duke and I was like, look, if this is no good, don't even put it on the site. Like, my feelings won't be hurt, like whatever. But yeah, and I am kind of grateful I wrote it because it was so personal, because it does kind of show the way that movies move us. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like the point. It's
That's
why
one
I
of my
love it so
favorite
much.
parts of the canon,
Yeah.
the canon post that we all do is what this title means to us, and it's the one or two
Yeah.
people talk like, and they're only like usually a paragraph or two, but
They're
those
great.
are always like
They're so much fun
really,
to write.
yeah, they're fun to write, because again, you don't have to look at it in terms of reviewing the movie. It's what that movie did for you at some point in your life. And like I love reading, that's like my favorite part of the canon, like reading the canon posts is like, okay, what did this movie mean to these people? It just gives you an insight into who they are as a person, really, of how they react to a certain movie. So that's great with editorials too. I should really write more of those. It would just be, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's made
Maybe
me think
something will come
about
to
the
me.
canon, which I don't know when it's coming back, but are we allowed to talk about which ones we signed up for? Because I'm like really excited for one of mine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I signed up for the 1959 Ben-Hur, and I'm like so excited. It is probably one of my favorite films of all time. I think it's just an amazing movie. 8,000 extras. I can't wait to talk about it.
Billy Wilder.
It's so good. Everything about it is just done so well. And the chariot race scene, I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I signed up for any. I'll have to double check. It feels like it's been so long since we talked about it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I did. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other one I signed up for
Yeah.
was. But as a like last question, unless you had one, Raf. I was just gonna like ask what movies you guys are looking forward to maybe reviewing later this year.
Ooh.
Oh man. Oh jeez. I have to look and see what's
Brian
out
took
there.
all the good ones.
If I get them, yeah. If I can sign up for it.
Everyone's gonna fight over Dune Messiah.
Not me. Timothy Chalamet.
Ramona, what is going on with your background here? This is like the real After Dark. This is amazing.
I love it.
I have 2 lights on in my bedroom, and then this is, I mean, it's dark outside. See, I don't know what's
Nice.
happening. It's ambiance.
Yeah.
I should get like a
that's
neon
great.
sign back here or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm excited for Ready or Not 2, which is coming out in a couple weeks.
I also saw that you claimed the drama, which I'm a little
Yeah.
jealous. I want to go see that one.
You know what? If I can't go see that opening weekend, I'll holler at you if you can.
Okay.
I'm
because I
excited for that
probably
one.
will. I'm
Yeah,
excited for
I'll
it.
let you know for sure. I do
No
want
pressure.
to. I do want to see. I mean, the movies that I like to claim are like just like I got Scream 7, Ready or Not 2. I want to see Over Your Dead Body with Jason Segel and Samara Weaving. I love her and I love him, so I'm excited for that one. It's just, God, I usually don't even know it's coming out until like 2 weeks before it's coming out. Sometimes Duke will post like here's the movies coming out. I'm like, I didn't know that was coming out. I'll go ahead and do that one. So, but I know those 2 are coming up that I want to see in the drama. I'm really excited for that. So, I don't know. I just kind of go with it. If there's something that kind of sticks out at me that no one else has claimed, I'll grab it. So,
Who's claiming the Odyssey?
oh my God, I can't.
You guys don't want my review.
I'm excited for it, but I can't.
I am
Somebody
so
will claim
upset
it.
about the Odyssey. I know I won't like it. I don't know. I'm kind of expecting Troy a little bit,
I hope
and I
not.
didn't like Troy at all.
I didn't either.
If I can get
God.
the review for Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma,
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
happy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think so. I definitely think so.
I have notifications turned on for Slack, so every time his stuff pops up, it's like
Same.
right by my phone. It's like, ding! I'm like, got it. It's like, I'll take that.
I think Raph and I have jumped in a couple of times before he's posted, like a month or 2 in advance.
Oh,
like,
like,
is
just
it too
tell 'em.
early to claim?
Yeah, I
Hey,
think I've done
I
that a
love
couple times. Be like, this is coming out in 2 months. Can I just preemptively take it? And he'll say yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Raph,
But you
Feather
can
in a
only play
Year.
that card so often.
I
You
know.
You
He'll
gotta
be like, you
really
gotta give
want
someone
it.
else a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, there are 2 that you took that I was eyeing. The Bride and Mother Mary. And I think the other one
Oh, Mother Mary
that I was
looks
eyeing was
interesting.
Project Hail Mary, which Thomas took, which I'm excited to read his
Yes.
review. But that seemed
I'm
like one that
excited for that one.
everyone was interested in.
Yeah.
I think this year I might try to stay away from bigger releases and try to stick to some smaller stuff. Try to
Mhm.
review some indie movies and things like that. Maybe things that are premiering at some festivals and whatnot. If we're able to get in and
Mhm.
cover. So
Yeah.
kind of looking forward to that. I did the first 2 Dune movies, so I feel like I kind of have to take Dune Part 3. My
Seems
review
Yeah,
seems
go
only
for
right.
it.
my review
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Dune 1 is so douchey. It's so douchey. I was really going for it. I think it was my first review that I wrote for the website. I was
Wow.
really going for something, and I did not land it at all.
That's okay.
Did like douchey like you hated it, or douchey like pretentious?
Douchey, like pretentious. I was definitely
Okay.
going for I am a film critic. I'm ushering in a new age of Cahiers du Cinema here at the Wasteland.
I'm gonna read it. I gotta go back and read it
No.
now.
No, because one of my first reviews I was reminded looking through the website was for the Uzumaki miniseries.
Mm.
And it's not good. Don't go read it. I think at one point I said "Hello, darkness, my old friend," because I just I hated it so much. I hated everything about it, and
That's a bar.
Didn't balance it in a way that was interesting at all. So yeah, no, I feel you. But
Man.
but no, I want to claim Resident Evil Like, I don't know if anyone else is as big a Resident Evil fan as me. I have
We'll
Resident Evil
clear
tattoo.
out. Yeah.
So
We'll make sure you
Not
get
that
that one.
big. I've played some of the games. I want to play the new one. Yeah.
Oh, the new one's so good.
Is
It's
it
been
good?
taking up all of my
Okay.
time. Like,
Yeah.
it takes all the best parts of
Aw.
all of like 2, 7, 8, 4. It's so
Mm.
good.
I think
Excited.
Resident
Maybe I'll
Evil
take the
is
Super
one of
Mario
those.
movie.
Oh,
Sorry.
Galaxy's
Ooh.
coming out soon. May, I think.
Yeah.
Which one?
No, April.
Is that the
April, I
world
think.
of Super Mario Brothers?
I totally though agreed with you, Rav. I hope this isn't like putting you on blast, but you said about Mercy, you were like, I want to see this movie, but I don't want to pay for it.
I don't want to pay for it.
And I like completely agree. Like, I want to
God.
see it, but I don't want to pay for it.
If
'Cause
someone
I
sent
do
me a
love
screener of
Rebecca
that movie,
Ferguson.
I 1,000% would have reviewed it, but there's no way that you're gonna get me to
Yeah.
spend my hard-earned money and time that I don't have a lot of to go to the theater to see that movie.
Isn't
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
Amazon?
No, it's
Is it
still in
on-
theaters.
It's not. Is it? Oh.
How?
will say
How is
this,
it the
maybe
one
this
movie
is-
that gets
It's
a extended
just-
theatrical release?
Sail the
really
high
thought this movie
seas,
was
my
cooking.
friend. God.
No, I will say this, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm getting a little drunk. I will never pay for a movie with Chris Pratt in it. Never.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Remember when he used to be funny though?
I liked him in
Remember?
Okay.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Y'all,
that was
the biggest-
fun.
The
Oh,
biggest jump
man.
scare. Oh, y'all are gonna. Okay, so the other day I'm just on YouTube
Oh no.
and I get a 5-second ad, and it's Chris Pratt, and he
Ugh.
wants to pray for me. Apparently,
Oh, man.
That's nice.
this is like, can I just pray for you real quick? And then he jumps
No!
in before I can hit the skip ad button.
Was that the
I do
ad
not
for that
consent
app,
to being
Hollow?
prayed for by Chris Pratt. I don't know what
Was-
it was an ad for. I
was
skipped
probably
very
Hollow.
quickly.
Hollow's like a Catholic app that gives you like, I don't even know what it gives you. But
He
the
used to
thing
be
is,
chubby and funny and lovable.
he was fine in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now he's
Like,
No.
praying
1
for
and
me on
2.
YouTube.
And he's doing movies like Mercy
Yeah,
and
but he's in those ads
that
along with
Millie Bobby Brown movie that was garbage. And
Oh, I forgot about that one. Straight
a
up.
lot of people forgot about that one. It's not good. I don't understand what happened. Well, I know
No.
what happened, but still.
I
Oh,
need Chris
sigh.
Pratt to do another comedy, and then maybe I would be on board. But like this, like action movie turn, like absolutely not. I'm so sorry, but
He'll be
it's
doing
not
direct
working for me.
streaming movies in a year or two.
I'm looking up releases for
Sorry.
2026, and I think I found the movie that I need to review.
What is it?
The Michael Jackson biopic.
Jesus.
Don't do
I
it.
need that so much. I need
Okay,
you to
but
do
you
that.
need to write it like in the style that I wrote, like the War of the Worlds review. Just
Yeah, it
write
might
your
need to
stream
be
of
an
I
editorial.
watched
consciousness
Michael,
thoughts.
so you don't have to.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell, I can't wait. That'll be so funny.
God.
I think that's the one.
So many trailers that come out, and I'm just like, but
That-
why?
yeah. That will reading your review will be my only engagement with that movie.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I told my partner that was coming out, and he was literally just like, "What? No, this year?
Who's gonna do Mortal Kombat?
Not me.
More-
I didn't
Come on.
play the game.
Mortal Kombat 2 with Carl Urban. One of you gotta do that.
Urban.
I do too. I don't know why
If someone
he's
sends
doing
me a
this movie.
screener, I'll review Mortal Kombat 2.
If I get one, I'll send it to you. Because I'm not gonna
I
watch
got all
it.
this weird international stuff that I'm excited for, and it's nobody else is claiming them. Duke doesn't even
Is it-
post them, but I
Is it
can
all
write
of a
about
sudden?
whatever
Because
I
I
want.
am really excited for that.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them. There's a Koreeda
looks
movie.
good as well. That's another Japanese film.
Yeah, that's the Koreeda, I think. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's apparently a new Redo Jude movie. He had 2 last year, and he's got another one this year. Dude will not stop working. A Lee
Like, yeah,
Chang-dong movie? Have y'all seen any Lee Chang-dong? Less well known of the South Korean there are like 4 South Korean guys that are like well known. The 2 that y'all would have certainly heard of Bong Joon-ho and Park Chan-wook. But then there's Lee Chang-dong. He's the Burning guy.
Yeah, I've heard of
also did
Burning. I haven't seen it.
Poetry and Secret Sunshine are also really good. And then the last one is Hong Sang-soo, who releases like 3 movies every year. God bless him.
Jeez.
They're just like thrown together stuff that he makes with his friends, and they premiere at Berlin every year. They just have a slot for him every year.
Love that for them. Oh, the new Evil Dead. I will probably want to review that. It'll probably be fun.
Who's making that?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this director. Sebastian Venesic? I'm not familiar at all. But it's not, who is it, the last one? Lee, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But the last one, it's the person who's
Lee
doing
Cronin.
The Mummy.
Yeah.
Lee Cronin, yeah.
Oh, I've got to get Hard Eyes too.
Oh, is that still Josh? What's his name?
Yeah, it is.
Dropout. Yeah. Oh, we could get him to come on the show. That would be fun.
Hard Eyes too. I can't. Who was it that did the review? Was it Duke that did the review for that, or did I do the review for that?
I feel like you did.
I think I did. I think he saw it and he didn't like it, but he said as a romantic comedy.
Okay, so the
I
director
might like it.
That Bird is the guy who did Infested. It's a French director.
I haven't heard of. Oh, that's probably why
I've heard of Infested. Infested has a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes, so it could be good. I don't know. I do trust Rotten Tomatoes probably too much, but
yeah, I can't.
Who's going to be the first Saw contributor to be tomato certified?
Not me.
I want it to be me, but probably not. It'll probably be you.
You have a good chance, Val.
Yeah.
What?
I will never apply for that.
I'm a tomato head. I check the tomato meter for everything.
I would feel like a hypocrite trying to apply for that, because then I'd be like, I don't trust Rotten Tomato critics. They don't like any movies that I like. And then if I'm applying to be one, then it's like, no.
I did apply last year, despite
Did you?
my feelings about what it is that Rotten Tomatoes represents as a review aggregate site and how it is that we should be judging movies. But hey, if they take me,
there you go.
Hell yeah.
Then we'll celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I just saw we're getting a new Godzilla -0 from the same director as -1.
Oh, God bless it.
Takashi Yamazaki. That movie rules. Oh my God.
It's really good.
Yeah. I can't wait. I saw the Steelbook for it while I was in Japan, but I was like, if I get this, I won't be able to understand it because they don't put subtitles in the DVDs.
So then what's the title of the third one? Is it Godzilla +1?
It's -0.
No, but the third one. Yeah, because they're going from -1 to -0, and then it's
minus
+1.
-1.
Oh dear.
Minus -1. Oh no. Oh.
No. I need to watch more movies.
Yeah, I think I might just go wild on like Tubi tomorrow night. And
I just feel like at the end of the year when we do our awards, the Saw Awards, like I'm always nominating like every category. I'm like picking like 5 movies I've seen, and it's always like the same because there's so many that I watch, but I don't consider to be award worthy in that kind of way. But then, so I'm like, I need to watch more. I need to get it out of my rom-com horror and watch some other films. But
I'll confess that I didn't see like Begonia until after the Saw Awards. So I didn't vote for it in anything. But honestly, it's for the best because I didn't really like Begonia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I felt like Yorgos' other movies, he kind of leaves things on this sort of tenuous note.
Yeah.
And with Begonia, he was more just like, oh no, this is what happened. Like, and I wish that he sort of kept the ambiguity of killing a sacred deer or
The Lobster.
Yeah.
Lobster's
the movie
great.
Fucked me up.
Yeah.
Who wrote the Begonia review? Someone wrote one, right? Brian, was it you?
I did. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah. I do love Jesse Plemons. Like
He's
I
great
love
in
Jesse
it.
Plemons.
he's so
I mean,
underrated.
I've loved him since I watched I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I mean, he's so good in that movie.
I mean, Friday Night Lights. Just saying.
Do you guys have a favorite
Hey.
review from last year that you all wrote?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let me look.
Going through my reviews.
I was like, I've been drinking, and you want me to remember something from last year?
From 2025.
It's crazy.
I can start. I liked my Sinners review,
Yeah,
and I
you go
also
first.
really like my F1
Sinners.
review.
Sinners
Yeah.
review was really good. Yeah. I didn't
Sentimental
see. I haven't
value
seen
was probably my best, I'd say.
Yeah.
The ones I wrote.
I would say, and maybe this is basing on, he told me this one got like a lot of clicks. My review of We Were Liars, the Amazon show.
Oh yeah.
I really hated it, but the review was very fun to write. I think the one that like I personally felt was like one of my better reviews is probably, is it technically last year? But I would say my review of No Other Choice.
Oh yeah.
I
I liked my review of Weapons. I will say I enjoyed.
Yes, that was
I
a
enjoyed
great
my
review.
of Weapons. That movie surprised me. A lot of my reviews from last year are rom-com rewind, so there's just like a lot of older stuff on there. I feel like I gave The Materialist too high a ranking. Like I'm regretting that now that I'm looking at it. But I don't know. Did I? I don't know if I did 28 years later or not. I know I just did Bone Temple, but
I need to see Bone Temple.
oh, it's fabulous. And I just saw that they've got the official go ahead to make the third movie with,
good.
which I'm excited for based on the end. I'm not going to spoil, but yeah, it's
someone
so good.
needs to give Nia DaCosta a check for unlimited money and just see what happens.
I'm really hoping that she'll.
Movie.
Yeah, I want her to do the third movie though. Her, Danny Boyle they need to do that third movie, but
that would be great.
We'll see what happens.
And Jack O'Connell is in his weird villain era, and I love it.
Fucking love Jack O'Connell. Like I love Jack O'Connell, and I loved him from Skins. Like back in the day when he was Cook on Skins was my yes. And so seeing him finally getting like. Because he's been in so many good movies that he's just kind of very under the radar. But seeing him finally being able to get recognized, I mean, he was. If you were to put Remick and Jimmy Crystal together, you'd probably get his character in Eden Lake. Have any of you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I can't watch it ever again. I watched it once. I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm never watching that one again.
2008. Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
It's on Tubi for free.
So watch it.
Val's Tubi night is taking shape.
Tubi night.
Hell yeah. Though,
but yeah,
will go watch The Visitor. So
yeah, Eden Lake is. It's. I will warn you, it's a rough watch, but I love seeing that he's getting his due. And winner of our Saul Award, tied for best character of the year for Sinners. So, and to be fair, all the people getting the love and accolades for Sinners completely deserved. Love it. I just wish he was getting a little bit. I think he's been very underrated in that movie as a villain. Just love those complex, multi-dimensional villains that aren't just I am villain. He is very
I am villain.
I am villain. He's very complex. I love it. So I love it. I can't wait.
Wait, who plays villain in I Am Villain?
God, the most obvious villain.
Ray Fiennes.
Yes. And he'll win an Oscar for it.
Pretty good. I was thinking Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, that's good too.
That's good too. Yes.
I know this is like very niche, but he's so good in Death Stranding. I know that that's probably like a hot take, but Mads Mikkelsen is probably the best performance in that game. And he does the mocap and the voice acting, and he's great.
Man, he's got that look about him.
And he does play a villain. It's great.
Yeah.
He is villain.
Man. He is villain. He is. God.
No, one of the things I had really fun, not a review, but comparing the D&D monsters to their Stranger Things equivalents.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was a lot
I
of
love
fun
that.
to write.
Yeah.
I got to use my 5e knowledge from 6 years at the table to good use.
Who is it that writes those where they compare like two movies, or they take a theme from two movies?
Wait, is that Bob?
Is it Bob? It might be.
Bob does it for
I think
horror.
he does. Yeah, I love those too. I always love seeing how people
great.
compare themes and stuff in these even like teen comedies. They'll do like it's.
Well, you could totally do that as an editorial, like take two rom-coms and like compare.
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. That might be fun to do. I do it in my head all the time, or just ranting to my husband or something. So I might as well put it down on paper.
Yeah.
That I just thought of one. Ramona, do you think you're going to review the new Devil Wears Prada?
Yes.
Ooh.
I do not think The Devil Wears Prada is a romantic comedy. I know that it's lumped in there a lot. When people are talking, like if you were to watch Devil, no, it's not. It's not a rom com. There's romantic aspects to it. But when?
Do you think Devil Wears Prada 2 will be any good? Yeah.
There are women in it. Yes, got to call it a rom com.
Do you have high hopes? Do you think it'll be good?
I don't think it'll be as good as the first one, but I think it's going to be, I think it'll be a lot of nostalgia fan service, to be honest with you. But that's okay. Some of that I'm willing to put up. I enjoyed the fan service in Scream 7 to an extent, so I get it. I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it. I love Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. I love to see it. Stanley Tucci, hello. So yeah, I'm willing to see what they do with it. I will review it. But as long as they don't label it a romantic comedy, I'll be fine. You can call it a comedy.
Just a comedy, I guess.
Yeah. And especially because, like, you could arguably say the villain of the first movie isn't even Meryl Streep. It was her boyfriend for being so unsupportive and douchey.
Yeah,
so
screw that guy.
Yeah,
he's awful.
For real.
Men.
Agreed. Men. Boo. So, yeah. See, this is what happens when I get down to the bottom. I start... Boo, man, they suck. No, I'm just kidding. Just bleep that out of there. It's fine.
I mean, we know.
We are villains.
My husband apologizes for it all the time.
Men are the villains.
Like, I'm sorry. We're the worst. They are. No lies.
Shout out that Alex Garland movie. I have not seen it, but I assume that's the point. That's
Men?
Which one?
Alex
I
Garland's
love that
Men?
movie. I know.
I hated the end. Oh,
I really liked it.
I wrote the review for Men on Saw. It's on there. I loved the beginning and the middle. It was atmospheric. It was Jessie Buckley was perfect. It was creepy. Loved it. And then the third act started. And I was like, what the actual fuck is happening? And I was just like, why are they doing this?
I took Men as like, it starts out as sort of posing as this like misogynistic perspective, but then it comes down and then like he's just begging her to love him at the end. And it's all just showing that like we all are just searching for validation. I loved it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't see that beyond all of the birthing, I guess.
Oh yeah, the birthing. That's just like I like weird movies every once in a while, and Alex Garland delivers.
Yeah, all of it up to that moment, I was on board with. I really enjoyed that part, but then it was, I just couldn't. Men, yeah.
I'm off the Alex Garland train. I mean, I'll watch.
Because of
the 28.
What was the movie that did it for you that got you off the train?
Civil War. I didn't see
I haven't seen Civil War.
Yeah.
I wrote the review for it.
Last one I saw was Annihilation. So
did you like it, Raf?
That movie sucked ass. I wasn't going to write a review for it, and I walked out of the theater, and I was like, I started to write a Letterboxd review, and I was like, wow, I actually have a decent amount of things to say about this. And that was one of the few times I went home. I didn't have any notes. I just started writing how I felt about the movie, and next thing I knew, there was a full review, so we put it up on the site.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go read
Very
it.
neat.
He is doing Elden Ring though. Not to keep going back to video games, but anyone who cares. I think he could do
I
okay with
care.
that. It's very
Yeah.
dense. George R. R.
If he's
Martin.
if he's adapting and not writing the story from scratch, then I guess
He says he's adapting. He said he's been pouring hours into the game to make sure he gets it right. So
yeah.
He did write 28 Days Later, which is fabulous.
yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
Is he a better writer than director, do you think? Does he direct?
I really
his
like
movies?
Ex Machina.
I love Ex Machina. I was going to say
Yeah.
that.
And Annihilation's
28
cool
Weeks
too.
Later. Annihilation.
Annihilation is an amazing movie.
Annihilation's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Oh, he did The Beach? What?
He wrote it.
Oh,
he
wrote
wrote a
it,
bunch
Danny
of stuff.
Wait, the
Boyle.
with
beach, not
Danny
the M. Night
Boyle.
Shyamalan beach, right?
No,
Leo
the Leonardo
DiCaprio one.
DiCaprio
Okay.
Beach from 2000.
Not the beach that makes you old.
No, that's M. Night Shyamalan.
I kind of like that movie.
Oh, God.
The beach
I did
that makes you
too.
old.
I never
I
saw
haven't
that
seen
one.
it.
Tilda Swinton? Oh, wait, are you talking about M. Night Shyamalan? Never mind, I didn't like that one.
Yeah,
I did like the
I'm a
Leo
late
one.
stage M Night defender, and
I
will
like
say,
M. Night. I
Raph,
do.
I watched The Village on your recommendation.
I liked
and
The
I did
Village.
really like it. I liked it
The
a lot more
Village
than
is
I thought I
good.
would.
Lady in the
So-
Water was good. I loved Lady in the Water. I don't
Interesting.
understand. I know you guys probably hated it. I
Y'all,
love Lady
Twist
in
in
the
the
Water.
Village is awesome.
The
It
Village
pulls
is
the whole movie
great.
together.
It's good.
M. Night
Actually,
has
yeah.
probably he had it when I looked, but
Signs.
he's got to have
Never
the
seen Signs.
longest streak for movies that gradually go down in the average letterbox rating.
Oh no!
Because it starts with The Sixth Sense and ends with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ugh.
It's a streak of like 10 movies. No, it ends with After Earth, which is
Oh,
like
yeah.
the worst movie
Well,
thing ever.
he made the thing is the trailer for Trap had me sat. I was like,
Yeah,
I am
I
gonna
saw
go
it.
see this movie, and then the reviews came out, and I was like, oh no!
I think I wrote
Yeah.
a review for Trap. I wonder what I gave
You
it.
know, M. Night is like, late stage M. Night is like, we can have some fun. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
It's
Knock at
fine.
the Cabin was
Yeah.
alright.
I enjoyed Knock at the
Cabin.
Cabin, actually.
Old Knock at the
Knock at the
Cabin
Cabin
I didn't
and
like the-
Trap, to me are all like pretty fun. And if
I
you
didn't
go
like
in
Trap.
understanding that he is exploring some weird emotional stuff personally through these movies,
Yeah.
you can walk away really appreciating them. I think people just go in expecting something that they're not actually gonna get. But to me,
They're
he's like
expecting the
an
Sixth Sense
extremely
for everything
emotionally
he does.
interesting. Here's a
Yeah.
hot take for you
Mhm.
guys, and we can come back to this. M. Night Shyamalan is a way more interesting director than Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan has never made
I
anything
agree.
remotely as
100%.
interesting as what M. Night Shyamalan does.
Interesting.
Yes, I agree. I agree, and I have The Prestige in one of my top movies
I
ever.
love The
I might change
Prestige.
that, but no, I think M. Night Shyamalan, at the end of the day, he is still doing something interesting with his films, even when it falls flat. And Christopher Nolan has become pretty boilerplate over the years.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that completely.
It's like,
And
are you talking about being interesting or are you talking about being good?
Both,
Because
honestly. I also think that I enjoy M. Night
Both.
Shyamalan's filmography as a whole more than I enjoy Christopher Nolan's filmography as a whole.
I actually would
Mm.
agree with you on that one. And I do enjoy some of Christopher Nolan's movies. I really do. But like I said,
Oppenheimer's
like
mid.
even there's
I really liked Oppenheimer.
I liked Interstellar. I know you didn't like
Interstellar's
Interstellar,
mid.
right? There you
Interstellar is
Uh,
bad. Yeah.
I
don't
liked,
like Interstellar at
Prestige.
all.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it, but my partner
liked
watched it on a
Interstellar.
plane at like 2 a.m. and he was like, I really liked Interstellar.
I've
But then
seen The Face
he watched
of
it
God.
at 2 a.m. So take
Yeah,
that
so
with
you
a
never
grain of
know.
salt.
Prestige is fantastic. That's a
Prestige
great
is
movie.
like a top 10 film.
Yeah.
For me.
But
He's made
if you're
two
talking
really cool
about like
movies.
filmography, yeah,
The
which
Prestige
are
and Dunkirk.
And Dark Knight.
Those are two really cool movies.
Oh.
is
Dunkirk.
good.
Interesting.
The Dark Knight-
was
Dunkirk,
good.
Dunkirk is good.
The Dark Knight could be good, but it holds itself back from being an actually cool movie. We're gonna have to do another Wasteland After Dark about Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan because
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, let's
Next
do it.
subject,
Yep.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh my god.
No,
Got thoughts.
I get what you're going at.
I agree with you though, because if I'm thinking of M. Night's filmography of the movies I've really enjoyed, I have enjoyed a lot of his, like Signs is one of my favorite movies. And I am not ashamed to say that. So yeah, I think I've enjoyed a lot more of his movies than I have Christopher Nolan. So that's a good point. Man, I'm gonna have to think about this. This is like
that M. Night's next movie, which comes out next year, looks kind of bad in the sense that it's co-written with Nicholas Sparks, and Nicholas Sparks is
no.
Also co-starring the actress from season 1 of Bridgerton. And look, I'm not trying to be a hater in case she's watching this for some odd reason. Regé-Jean Page is a really good actor, and she is fine.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Regé-Jean Page was in.
No, I know him. I don't know the girl.
Yeah, there's a reason. I mean, she's fine. She is fine. Her name is Phoebe Dynevor, and she was in Bridgerton and nothing else that anyone has heard of, and that's fine. She is fine. She is not a bad actress.
I mean, how many people from Bridgerton actually branch out and do other stuff other than
not
Jonathan Bailey and
I mean, I have watched every season of Bridgerton, so like I can't hate too bad. Like I am part of the problem, I guess. But I do think like she has kind of slotted herself into the romance category. I don't mean to say that in a sense that like that is a bad thing, but I think that she probably doesn't have much range outside of that. But it's going to be her and Jake Gyllenhaal in M. Night's next movie.
But it's co-written with Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah,
so who's gonna
seems
die?
Like it's a like suspense romance. I would love to be wrong. If it turns out like, oh, she's phenomenal in this movie, love that for her. Like maybe I'm totally wrong.
Oh, that's the movie.
Supernatural love story is how it's labeled.
Sure, which means one of them's gonna die.
Die and come back to life,
Okay, I was wondering because I saw what's his name, Regé-Jean Page.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in a new rom-com this year.
I love him.
Oh,
I know. I'll see that.
I think Regé-Jean Page should be the next James Bond, and that is the hill that I will die on.
What, you don't think Jacob Elordi is going to be the new Bond? Because that's what
I would much rather have Regé-Jean Page. He is.
We're setting up so many new screen Wasteland After Dark.
Setting up so many new roundtable discussions. It's
who
too
should
much.
be the next Bond?
Who's the next James? No, I would hate it to be Jacob Elordi. I like personally don't see the charisma drive from him as much. Like I think Regé-Jean Page is just like dripping with charisma in every role he has ever played.
This is how we should do Screenage Wasteland After Dark, as just whatever topic we land on after having several drinks by
this
the
is
end
just
of it.
One.
Who's the next
Is
you
what
guys
we start with the next time.
And you don't stop me. We're gonna be here till like midnight, man.
Oh my god! Yeah.
The more tired I get, the more I'm gonna talk, and the more it's not gonna make any sense, or the less it's gonna make sense. I guess if you want to be grammatically correct. Oh Jesus! See, now this is where it all just gets silent because we're all like,
yeah,
we don't want to start a new topic.
You're right.
I think we crushed it. We figured out how we write reviews. We've set up several more Wasteland After Dark discussions.
M. Night, Christopher Nolan, James Bond. We got it. Yeah.
The list goes on. Letterboxd star ratings and all the rest.
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Just Letterboxd
I've had a blast.
Reviews.
This has been great.
Yeah.
It's
been fun. Yeah. Yep. A lot of fun.
Sweet. Who's
any
taking
other
us
questions home? Or any other last minute? Anyone have any reviews coming up on the site this week?
Oh God, no,
nothing.
I'm gonna have The Bride eventually, but Hannah's out of town and she really wanted to see it with me, so it'll probably be next weekend. Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
I mean, I could just point to stuff I've written recently. And zero comments on my interview with Jeffrey Reddick, so that's up on the site for people who want to read that.
I gotta go read that. Yeah.
And review of Wuthering Heights as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna read that one for sure.
I haven't done anything super recently other than that.
Yeah, gotta catch up.
You gotta check out the Wuthering Heights review.
Yes.
I wrote a review recently. Pretty small flick, premiered at Slam Dance, won a grand prize jury award there. Small indie Dominican flick called Zumeka. That was really cool. Got to speak to the director of that. He was really, really awesome, really cool guy. Great filmmaker. Shades of Terrence Malick's The New World, if that's kind of your vibe. But shot in black and white in like a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Okay.
I don't know when it's gonna be picked up for
gonna
distribution, but yeah, when it's around, folks should check it out.
Awesome.
Also, a review from last year, but recently got like a limited theater release, My Father's Shadow, which is a movie that I've been kind of singing the praises of for a while.
Yeah.
So if folks are able to go check that out, definitely watch that movie because it's awesome. And I think Mubi may have picked it up, so it will eventually be there on their
That's probably
service.
how I'll have to see it. Still inaccessible in Knoxville at this point, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. I think this was a major success. More drinking and vibing nights to come.
Yeah.
Raf has switched to water, which is he's smarter than the rest of us.
I know.
That's when you're in your 30s, you got to do the glass of water before you go to bed. Yeah, after your one drink.
Yep. God.
Yep.
All right.
I won't even tell you what happens when you're in your 40s. So,
oh no,
we're good. We'll leave that for another Screen Age After Dark.
Another, yeah. You can give us a preview of what's to come.
No.
Okay.
Right, Raf, do you want to like send us off?
Yeah, I would love to, since I'm drinking water and sobered up a little bit. But Screenagers, it's been a blast. Ramona, Val, and Brian, this has been a lot of fun. We have no set cadence on when these videos will be releasing, so just look for us on the Saw Podcast YouTube page. We'll probably be on the website as well. There's a ton of great stuff coming out on the YouTube page, so be on the lookout for all of that. We've got Saw exclusive interviews. Val's done a couple that are great. Jacob did one with an Oscar-nominated documentary filmmaker, which is really cool.
Amazing.
So very exciting things happening at the Wasteland. There are tons of reviews coming out. The canon's going to be coming back. So we'll see you back here soon, hopefully, for more fun discussions and some boozing where we can let loose a little bit after dark. But in the meantime, we'll catch everyone in the Wasteland.